Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohammad bin Nizam bin Herman. I'm from DME43 Charlie 019140. So in this video, I will explain to you how I'm gonna sketch the gate valve from part to the rear model, and enjoy my video.
So for the first part, I will explain to you how I sketch the body. So for the first, we sketch the circle here and the diameter with the diameter 36 millimeter. Then I post extrude with a depth of 32 millimeter from the mid plane. Then I exit sketch, and this is then for the next, I will sketch the next boss extrude, and from the origin plane I will choose the hexagon with the from this point to this point with 42 millimeter. Then I will box extrude with depth 10 millimeter from this point, and then I click right. Then next, I will sketch the same part with this hexagon. I just convert entities and sketch the same hexagon, and I exit sketch. For the next, we do cat extrude, but first I will take the circle from the origin plane and draw with the diameter 26 millimeter. And I will choose the cat extrude for the next feature, and it will cut 13 millimeter from this face. Then I write. Then the next is also cat extrude from this direction. Then I will choose the circle, and from this origin plane I will draw 26 millimeter. And I will exit sketch. Then with the draw of circle 26 diameter, I will cat extrude with 13 millimeter from this face to that direction. Next is also cat extrude. I will draw a circle with 17.8 millimeter of the diameter, and then I will choose the cat extrude, and for the direction I will choose the through all both, and it will cut and all of the what they will through. And next is also cat extrude. Okay, for the first I will draw a circle. The circle until same length with the hexagon. Then I will choose the feature there is cut extrude, but I will take the flip side at here with the degree of 60 degree with the depth of 5 millimeter. And next, at the opposite direction, I will do the same things. That is, I will draw a circle until this the circle same length with the hexagon line. Then I will choose the cut extrude feature, same with this direction, and I will choose the flip side to cut. Then at here I will choose 16 degree and 15 millimeter with depth 5 millimeter. Okay, next. Okay, I will see from the plan side. Okay, at the plan side, I will draw a square with the length of 42 millimeter, and then I will choose the feature that is boss extrude. I will choose 3 millimeter, the depth of 3 millimeter. Then the next is I will sketch the same but the different same square but the different length is 36.5 millimeter. And then I will choose the same feature that is boss extrude, and I will choose the 13 millimeter, that is from here to here until here, 13 millimeter. Then I right click. Then next I will sketch the square at the rectangle at this line at this side with the length of 26 millimeter, and this line with 36 millimeter. Then I boss extrude this that sketch from here to here, and I choose the selected bodies. It means from here until it touch the body, it will boss extrude, and will result will be like this until it will boss extrude until it touch with the bodies. Next is cut revolve. Yes, I will sketch this line first with this line with the length of 18 millimeter. Then this line with 7 millimeter. This line and this line from this point to this point with 26 millimeter. This point to this point with 10 millimeter, and this from this to this point with 9 millimeter. Then I will choose the feature with cut revolve. It will revolve the sketch that I sketched before that with 360 degree at the line 1. Then it will cut this sketch with 360 degree. And for the first part, my sketch is already done. That is body. So the next part is union. This is the second part. This is the result of my sketch at the isometric. So the first I will sketch this. Before that, I will do the center line. Then at this sketch, this point to the center line with the radius 7 mm, and then this line to the center line with the radius 10 mm. Then this point to this point with 1 mm, and this line to the center line with 6 mm, and then this line to the center line with radius 12 mm, and then this line to the center line with radius 7 mm, and then this from this point to this point with 11 mm, and this point to this point with 1 mm, and last this from this point to this point with 11 mm. And then I will move to this sketch. So I will sketch the curve from this point to this point, and this point to this distance to the center line with radius 20 mm, and this point to the bottom point with 12 mm, and then this line with radius 18 mm to the center line, and this point to this point with the distance is 1 mm, and this point to this point with 3.48 mm. And then this is the center line. Then I will choose the revolve feature, and we will revolve this sketch and this sketch through at the middle, the center line at the middle, and it will revolve 360 degree, and it will be like this. The result will be like this. And then for the next feature, I will sketch from the planes. I will sketch the circle from the midpoint with the diameter 18 mm, and then from the midpoint I will choose the hexagon with this line and this line. The distance is 27 mm, and I will choose the boss extrude as the feature with the depth of this 15 mm, and it will revolve from this to this at this direction. And then this is the result of my second part, that is unit from the isometric view. So this is my third part, that is wedge valve. This is the result of my sketch at the isometric view. So I will move to the first feature that I do. Then first I will sketch this. I use the same concept with the second part. That I will use the center line to revolve my sketch. So I will draw this line, and from this point to the center line, I choose the 9 mm, Then this point to this point, I use 19 millimeter, and then this line to the center line with radius 4 millimeter, and center line to this line with radius 7 millimeter, and this line I use 7 millimeter, and from this point to this point I use to 22 millimeter. Then I will the sketch that I will draw this, I will revolve, I will choose the feature to revolve my sketch from this center line, and it will revolve with 360 degree. Then it will be like this. Okay, I move to the next feature, that is cut extrude. First, I draw this line, this line, this line, and this line, and this line I used to sketch at the length of 12 millimeter, and this line and this line I used to use length 16.5 millimeter, and from the bottom line to this line I used to 2.5 millimeter as a distance. Then I will choose the feature of cut extrude, and I will like to cut at the both direction, this direction and this direction, with through all and both, and this is the result of my second feature of this part, that is cut extrude this sketch. So this is my part 3, which at the isometric view. So the next part is the hand wheel, is the result of my hand wheel part at the isometric view. So from this I will choose the sweep feature, and this is the sketch. I used to choose circle with the radius 8 millimeter. And then this is the midpoint of my sketch. Then choose the sweep feature with sketch profile and close group. It will be like this, and then move to the next feature, this will extrude. First I will sketch the circle from the midpoint, and circle with the diameter 18 millimeter, and then I will choose to extrude, and I will choose the process from the mid plane. From this plane with depth 10 both direction. Okay, next move to the next feature, that was also will extrude. For the first I will sketch the circle from the midpoint with the 6 millimeter for the diameter, and we choose the both extrude, and it will through until touch with this surface, there is 25mm to the selected bodies. And then I move to the next feature. There is circle pattern. There is, if we divide 6 from the 360 degree, we divide 6 part and copy paste from this feature, this part. And lastly, the cut extrude from the up plane. We sketch this line and with the length of 6mm and also this 6mm, and then I will choose the cut extrude as the feature with the depth of the direction through both direction, and then it will cut this sketch. So this is my part, the result of my part at the isometric view. So for the next part, this is my spindle part. So this is my result of this part with the isometric view. So this part consists of two features, that is revolve. So for the first, I will sketch this line. This is as a center line with the length of 97mm, and this with 3mm, and this from this point to this point with 38mm, and this from this line to this line with 4mm, and then from this line to this line 6mm, and this line 3mm, and same at this length is 4mm, and from this point to this point with 42mm. From this sketch, I will choose the revolve feature, and from this sketch, I will revolve at the middle of center line with 360 degree, and this is the result of my first feature for my part. And we move to the next feature, and I will sketch from this view. We sketch this box with length of 6mm and also 6mm, and I will choose the box extrude with the depth of 6mm, and will be like this. So this is my result for my spindle part. So we move to the next part, that is plane nut. So this is my result of my sketch at the isometric view. So we move to the first feature, that is box extrude. So first, I will sketch the hexagon with the length of inside 15mm, and then I will choose the boss extrude as the feature, and the action from the mid length. Which means it will move to this direction 15mm, and from this point to this 15mm. And then we move to the next feature. That is cut extrude. So I start with the sketch circle from the midpoint with the diameter of 20mm, and then I choose the cut extrude, and we cut the sketch with the depth of 12mm until this. So it will be like this. For the next feature, this is also use cut extrude with the sketch of this circle from the midpoint with 8mm as the diameter, and then I choose the cut extrude. We cut the sketch that is circle through all the part, and then I move to the isometric view to see the result of my sketch for the planet part. So we move to the next part, that is gland. So this is my result of my sketch from the isometric view. So it consists of one appearance, like one feature. So for the first, I sketch this, and I draw the line, this line, this line, this line, this line, and this line, and from this line to the center line. So for this sketch, the center line is very important to do the revolve feature. So from this line to the center line, use radius of 9mm, and from this line to the center line 4mm, and from this point to this point I use 2.4mm, and then from this point to this point 2mm, and from this point to the center line I use 7mm as the radius. And for the overall of this line, from this line to this line I use 9mm. And then we move to the feature, and then I choose the revolve, and from my sketch it will revolve 360 degree through this center line, this 360 degree, and then so this is my result of my gland part. So this is my isometric view for this part. So for this part, there is map part. This is the result of my sketch from the isometric view. So this part consists of 3 features. For the first is bow extrude. So first I will sketch this. We start from this midpoint and sketch the hexagon, and this point to this point with the length of 20mm, and then I choose the bow extrude as the feature, and then I will extrude this hexagon part, hexagon sketch, and overhead rod from this direction and this direction, and from the mid plane with 7mm. And then we move to the next picture, that is cut extrude. So first I will sketch the circle that attached to the hexagon from the midpoint, and then I will choose the cut extrude. Then I will choose the flip side and cut extrude at the 60 degree for 7mm, and it will be like this. And next is mirror. I will convert these entities to the opposite direction, same as the first cut extrude. And then move to the cut extrude part. I will sketch the circle over here from the midplane at the 6mm, and then I will choose the cut extrude. And choose the for direction through all this nut from this surface to the next surface, and then this is my nut part from the isometric view. So for the last part of my sketch, that is in the union, this is my result of from my isometric view. So it consists of two features, that is revolve and cut extrude. So we move to the revolve first, and this is my sketch for the first feature. So I used the same concept is center line and to revolve the feature. Then I sketch the rectangle and this line with the 10mm length, and this line with 4mm of length. Then from this line to the center line, there is 8mm, and then I choose the revolve feature for this sketch and revolve it with 360 degree for in this center line. And then we move to the next feature, that is cut extrude. So for the first, I sketch this box with 2mm of length, and then I choose cut extrude as the feature. We choose the direction for through all both direction, and then this is my result of my sketch for this part, that is in the union. So okay, for the assembly part, so this is the graph that I create by myself and consists of 9 parts. So we take a look at the each part first. So this is nut, this is a hand wheel, this is gland, this gland nut, union, in union, spindle, wedge valve, and also body. So for the first method that I've created is concentric. Concentric means there is two or more part or other shape that share the same point, same center point. So I click at this body and also at this area. So it will not move to other direction, right or left. So the second concentric is this part and also this part. So the spindle cannot move left or right. Then coincident. So coincident means this area and this and also this area cannot move. This means they are attached to each other. Then concentric number 3 here and also here. It cannot move with go to left or go to right. Then there is coincident at here. It will attach to others at this point. So the inner union will attach to this part. Next, concentrate this part to this part because we don't want the inner union move others from the spindle. Then coincident 5 between this and this to attach the both of inner union and cannot move to other side, up or down. Then parallel between this and this because we don't want the we have create the cat revolves cat here box, and here we want to parallel it, and then concentric 5 between this area and this area because we want to attach between the body at here and also at the union part below. And then coincident between this area and this area to make the body and the also union attached to each others. And then concentric between the spindle and also the gland nut. Then coincident between this circle and also surface below here, surface below gland nut. And then next coincident between this area and also this area. We don't want the gland move from the gland nut. And then next concentric is between this and also this. We want to attach the gland with the spindle to make sure the gland nut not move upward or downward. Next, concentric between this area and also this area because we want the hand wheel to get more strong and cannot move to others upward or downward. Then concentrate between the hole here and also at this area to make sure the hand wheel cannot move either upward and downward. next coincidence between this area and also this area to make sure the hand wheel also attached to each other, and then coincidence between here up of gland and also below the hand wheel. It also to make sure the hand wheel not move to other direction. And lastly, coincidence up here of the hand wheel and the below of the nut to make sure also the hand wheel cannot move, and also lock between this area and also lock between this area and this area to make sure if we open the valve, this waste valve will turn and either open or close. So this is the video of this is my first motion study for exploded view to see how many part at my gate valve, and also to see detail of my mats. And the next motion study to show you how the gate valve work. So if we turn the hand wheel, and the waste valve also will turn. So this is my last rear model to show you the how gate valve work, how gate valve show, as you can see. And if I turn this hand wheel, the waste valve also will turn, either close or open. So this is the last view of my gate valve at isometric view. So this is my video to show you how my gate valve in exploded view.